Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the world ended last night, that is, but AEW gave us its Worlds End pay-per-view. A nice little end of the year treat, unlike another company that refuses to run major events in December. This was a good show as usual because AEW rarely falters on pay-per-views, but let's get into the show. We had 4 matches on the pre-show. First, we had Julia Hart and Skye Blue taking on Maya Ward and Hyan and 0 Hour. Julia and Skye were really solid here. The match only went 6 minutes. I wish it was just a little bit longer, but ultimately the Sisters of Sin got a win. And after the match, it was announced on Twitter that Maya Ward and Hyan are all elite. Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. That's what 3 minutes can do for your life. And then we had Eddie Kingston taking on Zack Gibson. He had already defeated James Drake on Ring of Honor, his tag team partner, so he went up against Zack Gibson, beat him after the match. The Grizzly Young Invaders continued to attack until Ortiz made his return. Looks like we got Eddie and Ortiz back together again. Put them in the tag team division. This is going to be fun. Then we had Bandido and Mascara Dorada taking on Mark Davis and Rocky Romero of the Don Callis family. I don't know why Bandido wasn't with Brody King, but that's fine. Of course, Bandido and Mascara Dorada got the W. Then we had Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey teaming up with Jack Perry and Luchasaurus to take on Josh Alexander and The Demand in a solid affair. Knight, Speedball, and Jurassic Express got the W. So a solid pre-show. I wish the women's tag match was just a little bit longer. So opening contest, like last year, were the 2 semi-final matches in the Continental Classic. First, we had a match that we were all looking forward to, Kazuchika Okada versus Konosuke Takeshita. And the thing with this is, once you reach the semi-finals of the Continental Classic, the time limits are going. There's still nobody allowed at ringside, but there must be a winner, so no draws. This started out really slow as there was a feeling out process, and it was really solid in the first, but man, it didn't pick up in the second half. But it didn't get out of that third gear, because we know we can get much more from Okada and Takeshita, but this was still a really solid match. Okada got the win after sneaking and taking the screwdriver out of the turnbuckle, using it to take out Takeshita. Man, we're getting to it, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting to Takeshita ultimately leaving the Don Callis family. Then we had the other semifinal matchup, Kyle Fletcher, John Moxley. This was really good. I actually might have liked this better than the Okada Takeshita match, because this one went just a little bit longer, and Fletcher showed how smart he is playing on Mox's ankle injury. He attacked that leg. He had worked that leg the entire match. But Mox, man, he knows no quit. This was really sad. There was some really scary spot here. Especially that top rope suplex. Looked like Fletcher landed hard on his neck. But these two dudes sold really well. The kicker of this match was Fletcher went for the screwdriver and it wasn't there, and they said on commentary that Fletcher was so locked into this match that he didn't watch the last match to kind of get a feel of who he might face if he won, so he didn't see Okada take the screwdriver. But ultimately Mox choked him out with the bulldog choke. This was really solid, man. It sucks that Fletcher lost, but I think there's something further down the line from him. Then we had the Chicago Street Fight with the AEW World Tag Team Championship on the line. FTR defending against Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn. And what do you expect, man? FTR know how to turn it up and get into these kind of crazy fights, these dangerous, intense fights. And it worked. Some of the spots here didn't quite work like they were supposed to. Some of the tables didn't break, because Stokely was definitely supposed to go through a table, but he ended up sliding off the table. It didn't break and going crashing into the announce desk. But this felt more like a fight than an overall stunt show. It just didn't really get into that next level of what we expect for the tag team division, but still a really good match. I attribute part of that to the combination of Juice and Austin Gunn, because Austin and Kaun are clearly the tag team and Juice and Jay White are clearly the tag team, but ultimately FTR got the win. Then we had Harley Campbell and Nightingale defending the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship against the powerhouse team of Mercedes Moné and Athena. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, Harley and Willow defeated Mercedes and Athena in an upset in the first round of that tag team tournament. So this was their first true title defense, and the question is, would they lose here? I mean, it's Athena and Mercedes. They got to get back. Mercedes and Athena are really good tag team. Willow and Harley are just growing more and more and more confident as a tag team. They're learning to work together, and this is fine. Athena and Mercedes did everything they could, but ultimately there was miscommunication between Mercedes and Athena because they accidentally hit each other at two different points at the end of the match. Willow ultimately won the battle of leverage against Moné, blocking the Moné maker and getting the 3 count, getting her finish, and this was solid. Athena was really mad at Mercedes after the match, so I know where we're going here. Athena worked really hard on this match. Mercedes was fine here, but I expect the next step for her. We'll find out. Then we had Darby Allin and Gabe Kidd in a match that's hoping someone doesn't die here. These two just pretty much brawled and beat the holy hell out of each other, but it led to an anticlimactic finish. This match was really intense, man. There's blood on both sides. Gabe Kidd, the dude is great. The dude is absolutely awesome. New Japan has something special and someone special on their hands, and him and Darby are really good at juxtaposing each other with their styles and their intensity. But after just a really intense match, Darby got to the W. He hit the Scorpion Death Drop. He hit multiple coffin drops. Even though Gabe Kidd made a brief comeback with 2 hard clotheslines, Darby leveraged the shoulders down to get the W in a sudden 3 count. Both dudes looked worse for the wear after the match. Then we had the Mixed Nuts Mayhem, which is essentially our tornado tag team match. It was Tony Storm teaming up with Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong taking on the Death Riders. That doesn't feature Moxley because he's in the tournament. And they just fought everywhere. Just a fun match. The true story of this match was the main story of this match was Tony Storm and Marina Shafir. I'm looking forward to them having a one-on-one match because we never got the Willow Marina match, but Marina and Tony are doing very well, kind of heating up each other. Then it was about Roderick Strong really giving into the conglomeration, joining them, and really being a part of the team. And we still had Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta with their turn on each other. So this is ultimately just fun. Some fun spots. Tony and Orange Cassidy dancing and taking out people. The Death Riders with the train clothesline on multiple people. But ultimately, this one with Mark Briscoe getting the J Driller on Wheeler Yuta because everybody hates Wheeler Yuta. So that's a fun match. The Babes of Wrath, Mina Shirakawa, and Luther all came out to celebrate with everybody. This was just fun. This was a nice little cool down match that leaned into the comedy to give the fans a break. Then we go backstage, and the crash out for Mercedes Moné is happening. It is going down, ladies and gentlemen. Then she composed herself and pretty much said she's gonna beat Willow's fucking ass, putting the TBS title on the line this Wednesday for New Year's Smash. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it is all about when it comes to Mercedes Moné. Just fun. Then we had the Women's World Championship match on the line. Chris Statlander defending against one Jamie Hayter. And let me tell you, these two ladies, hit hard. These are probably the 2 top hosses of the women's division. You can throw in Nyla Rose in there. You can throw in Megan Bayne as well. But Chris and Jamie kind of just bring it. These two just decided to hit each other and say, hey, who can hit each other the hardest. This was kind of a truly back and forth affair. At one point, Stat spit on Jamie, which don't why. Heel turn for Stat. I mean, she's been leaning into a little bit more aggressiveness, and her belief in herself could lead to that. That spot, there was a spot where they just landed on their heads a couple times and kind of interrupts the flow of the match, but it was selling it. It sold the match really well. It was really, really brutal. It made the crowd kind of feel like someone was legitimately badly hurt, which sometimes doesn't work. But at the end of the day, this was a heck of a fight. The announcers were really stressing how close these two really are. This could have gone either way. Stat gave Hayter a crazy good short arm clothesline. Hayter counter and hit the Saturday Night Fever. So, like the announcer said, these two are really, really close. Stat had charged Hayter with the disco lariat, but Hayter blocked it and landed another hard clothesline. Followed that up with the Saturday Night Fever. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if Stat won this match, but she survived this match and barely won. I could definitely see a rematch down the line. Then we had 2 promos before the Continental Classic finals from Mox and Okada. The Okada one was fairly simple. He was with Callis, and it's just not going to stop for Okada. He's always going to win. Whereas Mox was cutting a face promo, and he's going to put down the greatest tournament wrestler in the world. It kind of felt like the tide was turning on Mox. Early in the show, he was getting cheered, and he said he's going to, he claims that he is the greatest tournament wrestler of all time, bitch. But ladies and gentlemen, Mox and Okada, man, this match wasn't a classic, as it was very, very methodical. But when you have two guys at the top of the game who spends a lot of time at the top of the card, you don't have to get greatness every single time. You just have to get something that is comprehensible and good. And these two really, pulled out all the stops. Mox had his leg worked on. Okada is very, very smart. He worked on Mox's leg, his ankle, and his toes. And Danielson was on commentary, and I think that helped put this match just over a little bit more because of his convoluted and complicated history with Moxley. This was really, really, really good. The tide turned when Okada hit a low blow. Moxley hit a low blow, and because Okada was going for the screwdriver again, but Mox applied a sleeper. Okada hit 2 rainmakers. Mox ducked the third, hit the lariat, paradigm shift. Look, he fired up, curb stomp, and he hit a Death Rider. 1, 2, 3. Mox, shockingly, which no one saw coming, is your new Continental Champion. The rest of the Death Riders came out and celebrated with him, and the Mox cut a really solid promo, and he said this is for the fans, it's for those in the Continental Classic who bust their ass. But as he's saying this, as he's slowly being celebrated, Marina doesn't have a good look on her face. He's been saying all along that this is what the tournament is all about. This is what AEW is all about. And I don't know, something's going to go down on Dynamite. We just gotta wait and see. But lastly, ladies and gentlemen, our main event, the AEW World Championship, defended in a fatal 4-way. One, Swerve came out in his Green Lantern fit. Awesome. And here we are, Samoa Joe putting the title on line against Swerve, Hangman, and MJF. And this was good. It started out kind of everybody going after each other and finally taking out MJF. Swerve and Hangman were left alone in the ring, and they just fuck it, we out, we battling. We know the best rival in history of AEW, and they were just knucking and bucking. Swerve hit a dead eye because these two know each other well. Hangman then delivered a house call and then a buckshot lariat, but Joe broke up the cover. That was a great sequence. Joe hit a muscle buster, but Hangman took over, and then Swerve was battling back. So we've got all of this going on. MJF really hasn't been involved in the match. Danielson has pointed that out. MJF is going around picking his spot. So we move to the end of the match. The Opset came out helping Joe, but ultimately was all for naught. And so Swerve is on the top rope. MJF shoves him to the floor. You know, Heyman had just hit a buckshot. He kicked MJF to the floor, hit a buckshot on Joe, hit a second one, hit a third one. MJF then came in, threw out Hangman and hit a heat seeker on Joe for the pin. And he set out what he was going to do. This was a really solid match. He said he was going to take the championship back at Worlds End from Joe. He even wore the same color tights and look that Joe did to him the previous year at Worlds End. So MJF is now your world champion. Fun fact, there are more multiple world champions now in the history of AEW than there are single world champions. But overall, Worlds End gets a B+ for me. Not a super amazing show like I'm used to from AEW, but still a very good show like I'm used to from AEW. So this show gets a B+. Now we move over to Revolution, which I believe is in early March. So that leaves January and February with a lot of space in between. I know we've got New Year's Smash coming up. I know there's Maximum Carnage coming up and a few other shows in between. I kind of wish AEW would run at least one show like late January, early February, just a 10th pay-per-view, but maybe space out the pay-per-views a little bit more. But overall, World's End was a win for me, a B+ show. Really great. And ladies and gentlemen, come back for this week because we got the cutters. Stay tuned all week for the cutter nominations. But that is our show. That is what just happened for World's End, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.